Hey friends, I'm back with another video, and this is going to be a brief guide on Lost Dungeons of Norrath. Most of you will start out here in Crescent Reach, or if you're on a TLP, you might start out in other cities. And I'm not going to cover all of the NPCs that you need to talk to, so you might have to look it up. You might have to look up Lost Dungeons of Norrath contacts for your city, like a Cannon or Freeport or Quenos or Uridin. And there is a different contact in each city. The one here in Crescent Reach, if you're on Veronavi, for example, this is where usually you start out, is on the second floor, and we're here on the first floor. So we're going to get up here on the elevator. And this is something you do around level 18-ish, you know, anywhere from 18, 20, 22, whatever, whenever you feel like you want to start doing them. And this is sort of an important first step, because you need to do this step in order to get your Adventurer's Stone. And I'll explain what that is and what it does when we get to the part where we actually acquire it. So this is the guy here, Vladnelg Galvern, and he's over here right next to the herbs and medicines. So right near the shaman's alchemy stores and stuff. And he's always sitting in this chair. I kind of have my own hypothesis that maybe he can't walk or something. Like his legs are non-functioning anyway. So we're gonna chat with him and he will give you information. He says, come to find out about the Wayfarer's Brotherhood. I think I saw you around here long ago. Because you're familiar to me, I will trust you with some information. Saw me long ago. I have only been here for like a week. I'm a baby. I'm only level 18 anyway. So you just click on the prompts and they're going to be highlighted in parentheses. And when you finish, the last is interesting ore. And then he'll say, remember what I told you. And normally I would have read it all, but I'm pretty sure you all can read, and you probably read better than I do. So just read through it, and you can either answer all the questions when you're questioned, or I'll show you how I do it. So you can just write that down. So that's it. The first step is done. So now we're going to head to POK, where we're going to go. I think I'm going to head to Freeport from POK, and then we'll try to get our first mission. Now, you can't ever do a Lost Dungeons of Norrath alone, and you can't do it alone with a mercenary. You need to be in a group of at least 2 players with at least 1 mercenary. So I think the minimum number is like 3, but if you got 2 players, it would make sense if both of you at least had a single mercenary, because one could have a tank, one could have a cleric, and then it's a pretty well-rounded group. So at the least 2 players, and each one has a mercenary, you'll do fine. So if you're unfamiliar how to get to POK, leave Crescent Reach, you come out here, you turn to the right, and you can just follow this wall. There's not a whole lot that's going to attack you if you stay by the wall. And this is it, this old dusty book, you know, stuck on this tree trunk. You just click on this, and there you go, entering the plane of knowledge. So I'm here in POK, and I don't really have 2 other characters that are of an appropriate level. So I'll tell you what I did. I have here my rogue, who's I think 96 or so. And what I did is I went over here to the Spirit Shrouds, and I turned the rogue into a level 20 enchanter, because you just go, you talk to the Spirit Shroud person, and right now it's going to tell me to remove it, which I don't want to. But if you talk to them, they can turn you into a monster of whatever level. It has to be anything lower than the level that you are. You can never be a monster that's a higher level than what you are. But this works, and so here my monk named Gingerfist. So I'm going to invite these 2. They're my alts. It's my rogue and my paladin, and they're just wearing shrouds. But this way, Gingerfist should have an easy time. It'll be like a full group, and I'm gonna set up auto follow and all that. I'm gonna hit group assist target right there, and then slash X target 1, and we don't have spells right now, so we're just gonna do slash attack on, and that's fine. I don't need to do a whole lot else. And then I'm going to do the same with this assist key. /xtar is short for extended target 1, and then /attack on. There we go. And this one I'm also going to set to group assist. I'm going to have everybody target Gingerfist here, and Gingerfist is going to drop the mount. And one nice thing about these shrouds is that most of the shrouds do get Spirit of the Wolf buffs, which is kind of cool. So you can buff everybody with Spirit of the Wolf, so everybody's running at a decent speed at least. The fairy or enchanter, see it's a fairy, is also has Pure Thought. They can cast like Clarity, and so I have a mercenary cleric, a mercenary rogue, and a mercenary tank. So it's pretty much a full, well-rounded group. So let's go. We're going to go get our adventurer stone. So it's best to go somewhere like Freeport because that one's pretty easy. That's cute. Okay, I like that. I like the flying book. I want to get a flying book. So we're going to go here and then make a right. And I'm pretty sure this is a Freeport book. Freeport stone. There we go. Sorry, I had books on my mind. All right, we're here in Freeport. Gonna make sure everybody auto follows Ginger, and we just need to run this way. If you're curious, here's the map. We're gonna see we're going towards the Common Lands, and it's west. Yes, head west. And remember, you don't have to 3-box. You could just play your character and find someone to group up with or to team up with you. If you're in a guild of any kind, you can ask a guild mate to join you, and maybe if they're nice and want to help, you could suggest like, hey, I know that you're level 90, but maybe you could shroud just to help me out because I'd like to check out a Lost Dungeon mission or something. So they could do that. They could shroud down to group with you, or you can 2-box and then have both characters have at least one mercenary, like a tank and a cleric, and then you're good. But I like having a full group just because it makes it that much easier. Because if you have a third character, that third character can have a rogue, and then you have even more DPS. So here we are in the Commons cave, and we want to come over here and we want to talk to this guy, Barstry Songweaver. So you hail him. He says, "Welcome, stranger. I'm afraid you must answer some questions before I can consider opening our wealth of skill and knowledge to you. First, what does the Wayfarer's Brotherhood call tasks that you do for them?" The answer is adventure. And we could keep doing this farce and you can answer all the questions, especially if you paid attention to everything that the other guy said. But if you didn't pay attention, okay, and this is a shortcut, you could just say or just hit say far stone, like it's one word. And you say that and boom, you got the achievement, you got your adventurer stone. And this is an AUG that goes in a charm. It only fits in a charm. And look at this. If you did the tutorial zone, you'll have a charm. Either that or you could just leave it in your inventory. It could just sit in a bag and it still works. But you put it in a charm. There we go. And there it sits in my kobold charm that I got from in the tutorial, just from hailing all the newbie quest guys and doing their little quick tasks. So it even gives you some stats. The adventurer stone doesn't give you any stats until you do like a whole ton of Lost Dungeons missions. Like, I don't know, I think you got to do like 100 at each location or something. It's just really ridiculous. It's like way too much. Who knows? Maybe you only have to do 10 or 20 at each location, but still a lot. And with the experience bonuses you get here on Throne of Eye, you'll out-level these dungeons before that AUG becomes useful. So there we go. That's it. That's your first step. And I think we're going to do a quick mission just for the hell of it. And okay, you might ask, what is the Adventure Stone? What does it do? You never answered. Well, I'm going to. You need the stone to be able to successfully communicate with the Magus. They have these Magus at each camp. And what this stone does is it helps you to transport here and there. You get free teleports by having this stone. So let's hail him, and he gives us a chance. We can go to Butcher Block, Everfrost, Nadiri's Landing. Nadiri's Landing is one that he'll give you all the time, but Butcher Block, Everfrost, North Row, South Row, or Commons, if you happen to be at one of the other locations, are all options that you have if you have the Adventurer's Stone. So I'm going to check to see that everybody else gets these options, and if they do, then we might just head to Butcher Block or something. Okay, we all get it. So yeah, let's head to Butcher Block. It depends where you want to go, because some places have different missions and different kinds of monsters that you fight, and I just happen to like the Butcher Block one because it takes you to like Mistmore type dungeons, and you fight a lot of vampires and undead and stuff. So here we are, and you want the Adventure Recruiter, all right? And you can just right click them and you'll have this window come up. And in this window you have a few options. If you've never done a Lost Dungeons before, you might want to do Risk Normal, but if you end up like having a full group, or you're pretty confident that you're going to survive just fine, you can go Risk High. And Risk High just means it's going to be a little more challenging, but you're also going to get much better XP. It's like you're never going to get great XP doing Risk Normal. Do Risk High. Trust me, you'll probably enjoy it. And then the easiest one to do, which I suggest for beginners, is Mob Count, because then you don't have to go all over the place looking for a boss or collecting things or anything. You just kill a set amount and that's it, and you're done. So High and Mob Count, and then you just hit Request, and we have to kill 54 of these guys. And so okay, let's hit Accept. You can decline, but I always just accept. Okay, so we got 30 minutes to get there to start, and if you want to be able to open and close this window to check your progress, it is Alt V. At least that's what it is on my computer. You can always check by hitting Alt O and opening your options window, and then go to keys, and then I think you go to UI, and yeah, there it is, Adventure Window Toggle Alt V. So it's near the top, and you could always change it to something else if you want. All right, so I'm gonna start moving on, make sure all my characters are auto following Ginger. Okay, we're all set. Unfortunately, because my other characters can't use mounts or don't have mounts when they're shrouded, that's one of the downsides of being shrouded. I just need to run there with Spirit of the Wolf, which is so very slow by comparison to the mounts. Having mounts does kind of make you spoiled. You become kind of a brat. Okay, and if you're multi-boxing like I am, you want to make sure everybody's set to auto follow, and we are going to go from here all the way over here to Lesser Fate Arc. That's where we want to go. So you can pretty much, run sort of along the wall here, or follow this path or road or whatever you want to call it. And keep in mind that G-Fey is where the elves live. So if you are playing a dark elf or a troll or an ogre, this is a place where you just want to keep an eye out. Make sure you got Spirit of the Wolf. So if one of the elves show up that might path along here or something, if they happen to attack you, make sure you're either invisible or you can run away, or just hug the wall. If you hug the wall over here, you'll be fine, because most of the pathers, pathing NPCs, they'll walk along the road. So you don't even need to like hug the wall. Just, walk along like parallel to the road and you'll be fine. I guess there's some kind of event going on because someone named Grave Skull is shouting. Is there like a group here or something? Nope, just me and my two alts. So I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, hey, we passed it. So yes, pay attention. Don't be a dummy like me. You might pass it if you're not paying attention. It's good to check the map. So yes, Lesser Fate Arc. All right, we're in Lesser Fate Arc now, and I have everybody auto-following. So now we're going to look for the compass over here. And if you see, there is a blue line up here where you see the compass. And that blue line is an indicator of where the dungeon is located. And you just want to keep the needle on the blue line. Although you need to move around a little bit to avoid running into a tree. Especially if you're multi-boxing like myself, you want to not get anybody stuck on trees because then they'll lag behind. And there are things like brownie scouts here which can suck, and they might attack, and if they do, well, hopefully you can outrun them if you have Spirit of the Wolf. If not, then you might survive, especially if you have a really good tank. Wow, 2 brownie scouts. What are the odds? I swear. You also want to watch out for the unicorns. The unicorns are level 50 something, and they can potentially kill you if they get their hands on you. For some reason, they are wanting to kill my paladin, that's who's shrouded, and that's really going to piss me off if they do that. I don't know why they want to kill the damn paladin for. Jesus Christ, the paladin's nearly dead. Again, I don't know. I don't know why they're jonesing to kill my paladin, and I also don't know why my cleric isn't healing my paladin. It's pretty sucky. Yeah, any characters that do get shrouded are very, very vulnerable because you don't have access to sweet armor or gear or anything as a shrouded character. So it is very easy to get yourself killed. Yeah, and the funny thing is the cleric belongs to the paladin. You would think they would have stopped to try to heal them, but no. They didn't. They did no such thing. That kind of has me angry right now. Kind of furious. You dumb bitch. Why didn't she try to heal the paladin? They could have died. And I don't even know if they get any kind of res at level 20. That really would have sucked. It really would have just took a big dookie on my night, you know? But it's okay. It's the kind of whole day I've been having, man. And I don't know why. I don't know what I did. I don't know whose grave I pooped on, but somebody out there is mad at me. All right, now we want to make sure that we set the defender as the main tank. Maybe that's why. Maybe because I didn't have the defender as the main tank also. Because I had myself as main assist. Who the hell knows? But I'm going to pull these guys with javelins. So this is it. As I couldn't really explain what I was doing to get in here because we were being pursued by freaking brownies. So maybe at level 20, this is the best place for you to go because of the brownies. So you could always try one of the other dungeons. They're not that hard. Wow, this guy's red to me. He's level 22. It's going to be great XP though. And don't worry, we're going to be able to kill him pretty easy. And these guys all drop little weapons like blood dagger and stuff. I would say if you got the room in your bags, loot them because they will sell for a little bit of plat. So if you're not wealthy, it's always good to loot whatever you find. Wow, pulled 3 of them. See, we're pretty much unstoppable. I think I don't see us having a whole lot of trouble. And sometimes you get stuff like this, like Simple Defiant is dropping, which is nice. Anything you can't use, you could always sell it in the bazaar or just sell it to a merchant. These pelts can sell. I mean, the pelts, if you're just selling it to some random merchant, they're not going to be worth that much. But they will sometimes sell to players because if players will buy them to use them for trade skills. This guy looks like a geriatric old man. I don't loot the very low level rogue stuff because it's like you sell it to any merchant for like a couple of copper. It's hardly worth it and it just takes space. I'd rather use that space for one of these little blood daggers or something that actually gives me like a platinum or 2. I am still level 18, but I'm sure I will be level 19 and then 20 in no time because the XP here is pretty good. I'm getting 8% per kill. Is that right? I'd say that's pretty good XP, guys, especially if you can get yourself a full group. Okay, 6% per kill for that one, and it was 6% before that. Okay, it looked like an 8 to me. I was just hopeful, but 6%, I'll take it. That's still amazing. Still really, really good. I mean, at level 80 plus, you're lucky to get 1%. So anything over 1% is phenomenal. Makeshift binding powder is used in trade skills for building up your research. I mean, it can also make these scrolls that could be used by just about anybody, but the scrolls are not very good. I wish that we could make healing scrolls. That would be pretty awesome, but I think you can't. I'm pretty sure you can only make like fire strike and things of that nature. But if I had my way, I'd make it to where anybody can craft healing scrolls and it would work similar to healing potions. That would be neat. And as you see, I'm just flipping through my different instances of Everquest so I can hit the assist key on both of them because every everything that's, you know, attacking is... see, this is one of the drawbacks. This is where playing a rogue would come in handy, guys. These traps can be disarmed by rogues pretty easily. They just need to build up their disarm trap skill is all. So if they have a 0 skill, then it'll take a lot of tries to try to disarm it, if they can at all. So I would suggest trying to build up your skill at least a little bit before coming to one of these dungeons. I'm pretty sure I made a video on how to do that very easily and quickly. What is this? This window here. I definitely don't need that window there. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, edit settings. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. So it sounds like somebody leveled up, and that's probably me. Yes, level 19. Now, these guys that are shrouded won't level up at all. They're going to stay level 20 the whole time. But they do get a little bit of XP for being shrouded and doing these missions. So it's not like they don't get anything. I don't know if a shrouded character loses XP when they die. That's an interesting thought. If you've had experience with that and you know for sure, yes or no, if a shrouded player loses XP, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinion on that one. In Lost Dungeons, you're going to see a lot of these like chests and barrels and things like that might contain treasures. But if you don't have a rogue with you or anybody that can sense and disarm traps, I would really suggest leaving them alone, especially if you're much lower level. Those poison traps and curses that these chests do can be really nasty, and they can wipe out your group. If you're playing a monk or a rogue or a warrior, someone that doesn't have spells, it's always a good idea to have either javelins or a bow and arrow to be able to pull mobs closer to you. I know that a lot of the melee types get abilities like throw stone, but I'm afraid that it doesn't have any real range. It's pretty crappy. Okay, I got this green stone here. It could give +2 to strength. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm sure I'll find better augs soon enough. I mean, there was a time back in the day where you wanted any kind of stat that you could get, but I'm just not that interested in that. I leveled, I'm still 19, so I still got to use the Spider's Bite 1. I can't use Spider's Bite 2 yet. Can't use that until level 20. If you're curious, Spider's Bite is a poison made by rogues, but it could be used by just about anybody. So let's check our progress. Remember, we hit Alt V, and here you see progress. 25 of 54. So we're almost halfway through, and we got 76 or 78 minutes left. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to complete this, unless something completely ridiculous happens, like my power goes out for no reason, which actually happens often. People in my city don't know how to drive anymore, and most of them are on some kind of drug, so they end up driving into power lines and telephone poles and all kinds of stuff. It's really a horrible thing. I would bet good money, like a lot of money, to if I found out that the guy that hit my car with the hit and run was on drugs. I would be willing to gamble a sizable sum on that, because I'm pretty sure that the guy was, or girl, whoever, was high as a kite. Because again, they did not even slow down. They didn't even acknowledge that they hit me. It was just nothing. Zero were given. So you see, it's pretty good. XP is pretty good. I am almost level 20, and again, just go risk high. I suggest risk high. You're gonna probably enjoy it so much more. We got simple plate van braces, of course, because our monk needs leather, so of course we're not going to get any leather. We're going to get plate. I swear Daybreak does this on purpose. They only let drop what you don't need. So I leveled up, guys. 6.126 XP, and I hit 20. So now I can look for the other poison. Yeah, Spider's Bite 2. So let's replace that, and let's take 2. So now if we proc the poison, we'll do probably twice as much damage. I think I was doing like close to 60 per hit with the poison. Now I'm getting 5.338 XP per kill. Still pretty good. So here's the thing. If you want to make sure that you keep getting pretty good XP the whole time, each time you finish a mission, especially if you've leveled up a couple of times, take anybody who's shrouded, if that's what you're doing, if you're using people shrouded, because maybe you've got multiple characters or multiple accounts, but nobody at the level that you're playing, you can always go back to POK, remove the shroud, and get the shroud again, but at a higher level, because I think it might even be intervals of 5. Like you might even be able to be like 20, 25, 30, 35 or something like that. And if that's the case, then just go up 5 levels each time, and you're gonna sort of raise the level of the mission. It's a kind of a cool way to power level yourself, because one reason why everything was like red to me at first was because I had 2 characters in the group that were level 20. Meanwhile, Ginger was only level 18. So they raised the level of the overall mission. And there are maps to this. You might not see one, so you might have to download them. So if you get into one of these dungeons, you don't see the map, even though you're trying to open the map window, you might have to download the maps. And you can just Google Everquest maps, download, and you'll probably find the site that I found. And it'll give you instructions on how to download it and how and where to install it. It's basically like a bunch of text files that you just drag out of the envelope that downloads and into the Everquest maps folder. I said envelope, right, instead of folder. Ugh, cringe. It took me a second before I realized what the hell I said. Envelope. It's so ridiculous. But I guess it's not that much different than a folder, and that's probably why I said it. I'm embarrassed for myself. I really am. Here's another weapon that drops, a blood axe. And these weapons aren't very good. You know, you look, it's vendor fodder. It's like fine steel. You know, it might be worth anywhere from 2 to 5 plat when you sell it just to a merchant. These bitten victims, here, I'll show you what happens to one of them. If you hit it, I'll give it a round kick. They sometimes will get up and attack you. And then when you kill them, they might spawn into 3 spiders. But at least they're pretty spiders. I mean, look at them. They're like black and purple. They look really cool. Sometimes when they explode, they will buff the group or heal the group or even restore the group's mana. Sometimes you get spiders. Sometimes they will even say, please don't hurt me. If you let me, I will join you. And then you can tell them follow me, and they will follow you and help you fight. Anything that hits you, they'll basically function like an enchanter pet. So anything that hits you will aggro them, and they will attack that monster until it's dead. So I always thought that was kind of a cool thing, you know. It's random. You don't know if the person laying on the ground is going to help you or hurt you. And those NPCs that follow you around to help you will last probably about 15-20 minutes before they just collapse and die. And there's nothing you can really do to save them. Like, I've tried buffing them and stuff with a cleric, and I think, like, even if you have a cleric mercenary, they might actually buff them. But it's kind of like they were gonna die no matter what, but at least you let them follow you and they went out fighting. How's my XP? Look at that, I'm almost 21. I'm gonna be at least 21, 22 by the time I complete this. I'm at 44. So we just need 10 more, and that's including this one. So 9 more now. And again, I like pulling by using javelins. You see here, the long flight javelins don't do crap worth of damage. It's like 2 with a delay of 15, but it's got a range of 175. So it's what I call a pulling weapon. You use it for pulling stuff. You don't really use it to try to fight anything or do DPS, because you're not gonna do any DPS with that javelin. So you might as well just throw 1 or 2 at a time. I wouldn't go full auto, because then you're just gonna waste them, and they can get expensive to be crafting them all the time. One thing that you can also do is get Shissar fangs. Those make for a great throwing weapon too. And those, you can get those for free. You just need the dusty pouch, which I happen to have. I wonder if I can start using it now, because I think you have to be a certain level to use it. No, actually you can be level 1 and use it. Okay, I hit 21. So yeah, dusty Sora's worker pouch. It's an item that I have that it drops off a monster, or Shadows of Lucklin era thing that drops. It's a clicky, and you click on it, and it's got a very long cast time, but it's worth it because it summons free throwing weapons. So here we go. I'm going to show you what they are. They 11 damage, 15 delay. So they're actually way superior to the javelins, and they have almost the same range of 170, and they have stats, guys. So let's do this. Let's replace our javelins here for a minute with these barbs, and I'm going to change my key here for now, and I'll just try to throw some of these because they'll actually do damage. And again, so it's infinite charges. You can have them forever and just summon a couple of stacks before combat, and something like that is great for a monk or a rogue, or even like a beast lord, because rogues can actually use a bow and arrow, but they can crit and they get bonuses. They can even assassinate by throwing things like javelins or fangs or whatever, thrown weapons, but I don't think they can get those bonuses with a bow and arrow. So that's a ranger thing right there. It's also a good idea to get your throwing skill up, because there are some charms at higher levels, 80 plus, that only give you the bonuses from the charm if you have a high throwing skill. So I'm hitting these guys for 10 points with these throwing fangs. Did I finish the mission yet? I'm at, okay, 52. I just need to kill 2 more. So after this, I'm going to be done. And you can keep fighting. You can try to clear out the whole dungeon. Nothing will respawn. So you just kill whatever you find, and that's that. Then you leave, you get another mission. And one thing I like is, you know, unlike the higher level missions, there isn't a lockout timer. You're not going to be limited to only doing so many missions, and then you're locked out or whatever. You could keep doing them over and over again if you want to. So we've completed it. If you hit Alt V now, it'll say you are not currently assigned to an adventure. So that's pretty much it, folks. Again, you can always stick around and try to find everything that's down here and kill it all, and you get a decent amount of loot. As you saw, even Defiant armor will drop in these zones, so you can end up getting some Defiant armor. You can get some other kinds of armor. You get a lot of these little like these little blood daggers and blood axes. There's even like a blood sword. There's some of these Augs I just delete. I don't even want to mess with them. I got a simple soldier's orb. No, I think I already had that in my inventory. Yeah, no, that's something I already had. But I did get the simple Defiant plate bracer, and we got simple Defiant plate van braces. So those dropped while we were down here. And I'm sure there's a possibility that I can get leather armor dropping down here too. I just haven't had that kind of luck. Sometimes you'll come across gargoyles down here, and they'll drop gargoyle granite. If you do get that, save it, and if you're on Throne of Eye, find me. I'll buy it off of you. Whatever you feel is a good price. I'd be more than happy to pay like 10 plat per brick, because it's not super valuable. It's just, you know, I can make some cool armor with it. And that armor isn't even as good as like Defiant armor, but I like trade skills. And or just keep it for yourself, and maybe you can make some Gothic armor, because that's what it makes. It makes Gothic armor. You can go to eqtraders.com and look up Gothic armor. Ooh, is that a named? Ooh, yes, rare named. And occasionally you get rare named here. I think I'm gonna pull this on the left here, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna aggro anyway, and I'd rather get them now instead of when the named is on top of me. Some of these named can be kind of nasty or challenging. They might have special abilities, like maybe they can harm touch, or if it's an enchanter, it might be able to mesmerize or charm you, and both of those options really suck. I say getting charmed is worse though. So yeah, this guy's level 22. He's yellow to me. All right, we just got him and no one else. So this should be easy then, which is again why I killed those other two. Holy cow, he died so quickly. Oh, the poison. You hit Sava, Fang, Morrow, fiend for 134 with my Bite of the Shissar. So see, it's always a good idea to have poison. So if you're on like a progression server and something like this drops, you might be happy and in luck, because that's actually pretty good, especially at level 23, which is the recommended for something like this. And it's usable by anybody. So yeah, on progression server, that would be sweet. Unfortunately, here on Throne of Eye, it's not so much. But I think actually, I didn't check. Let me see if it might have a pretty high, yeah, it's got a 180 tribute value, so it could be tributed. Usually the loot that drops here isn't going to be worth much as far as selling it to just merchants or even other players, unless you're on a progression server, a TLP. And if you're on one of those, then it could have very high value to anybody. You know, they might give you like 50 to 100 plat for shoulders with some stats on it. I hate it when they do that. These jerks rooted me. Anytime I'm rooted, I usually just sit down unless they're actively hitting me, because I don't know, sometimes sitting down seems to make the root go away a little faster. Let me know if that's just nonsense or if it's true. It's not working this time, I can tell you that. Yeah, it's gonna make me wait till the very freaking end. Why is it that monsters can like break out a root, but I can't? So dumb. The Gothic plate, I made a video on it. It actually is pretty cool, because you can also make Gothic chain with the gargoyle granite, because I think you make temper out of it, and then you got to use either medium quality or high quality, or to make, you can make ring mail like with it that has some stats, or you can make plate. The thing is, I wish you could sort of make some kind of like studded leather out of it. I need to look into that. I never really did check, at least I don't think I did, to see if maybe you can use the temper to make maybe some studs or something, and use the studs in some kind of pelt to make a yeah, like some cool studded leather or something. It's always good to have a high magic resist in these dungeons too, especially this one, because you do get a lot of enchanters and stuff who can charm you, mez you, cast fear on you. So yeah, I did make it to 22, just like I thought I would. Woohoo! It's good to be right. So yeah, I would say the XP here is pretty good, especially if you just genuinely like to play the game and enjoy it, compared to having somebody magically power level you. But what's the point in that? There's just no fun. Ooh, now that one is worth looting. It's 3 AC. So I think I'm almost done here. As soon as I clean this room out, I think I'm going to call this video done. So I hope this helped you and you're able to do your own Lost Dungeons of Norrath now. Again, you can't do this solo. You have to do it with at least 2 players, and then you can have a mercenary on each player. Having a full group does improve your chances of success, of course, but you could probably manage. Simple Defiant Cloth. Okay, I got cloth, still can't use it. At least we're slowly getting different things. So I think that's it, folks. I think we're gonna pretty much say this is done, and that I just about cleared the whole dungeon out. There's another large room on the other side, but I'm not gonna bother with it because I'm a little tired now, and I feel good about this. This was a good ending to my day that was otherwise kind of crappy. At least the mission ended well. If this helped you, please give the video a thumbs up. If you hated the video for some reason, you can give the video a thumbs down. If you'd like to support me and support the channel, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, or join the channel as a channel member. Channel members get special perks and privileges, like a link to join our Discord server. You can also support the channel by giving this video a super thanks to show your appreciation. If you look in the description below this video, you will see the links to my social media, such as TikTok and X. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow.